Sorry, we're closed.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Another episode. Sorry we're closed. And we have some interesting pieces of content for you guys today. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, one being a video that I absolutely, under no circumstances, want to release to the general population. However, TiVo really wants me to.
I see.
We'll get into it. It's a segment.
I can get controversial on that.
We'll get into it, but honestly, this is something you guys are not aware of. I'm throwing this in as a curveball. Big thing happened just 5 minutes ago here at the house. Just 5 minutes ago.
Breaking news.
It is the first one of the year. Iced coffee, guys. Iced
coffee.
Yes.
Man, I was thinking about doing that myself. This is getting good.
Iced coffee, guys. And before I forget, and someone inevitably calls me on this podcast, let me go on Do Not Disturb. But one thing we did want to mention prior to getting into everything today, guys, is we are doing some socials. YouTube's going to stay my own, so it's the same place you've seen in the past. I know my mother really enjoys watching the show rather than listening, so that will be re-uploaded with a new little, I don't know, what do you call that? The new background? What do you call that?
Well, overlay.
Yeah.
We got like graphics,
Overlay.
some new overlays.
Whole new thing, new TiVo twist to the podcast. And then we're going to do a Twitter still, TikTok. Are we doing an Instagram? Oh, we have an Instagram.
Yeah.
We're
going to try. We're going to try it all. We'll see what sticks. But
we're going to try it all. So we're going to do that. And then at the end of the episode, we'll talk about this Miami video. And we'll think of something. You guys have to convince me to release this thing because it is.
It's a work of art, is what it is.
It really is.
And you're really hindering an artist. Is what you're doing.
It is something else, Sean. I showed it to you. Not to get into it right now, but I did show it to you. We'll get into it because I don't want to give anything away. But this past week, something that popped up onto my own radar is I'm not going to say what show it is yet because nothing's official. It's just the preliminary actually stuff. But I got asked to do a show, and it's seemingly out of the blue from like Instagram. And what's interesting about it is since I've known TiVo, he's pretty much been saying that I'd be perfect for this show and would be able to do a lot around it. And so behold, I text TiVo. I was like, hey, you would never believe who reached out to me. And I think your response, TiVo, was, I fucking told you.
Yeah, and it wasn't the exact same thing. I always said it wasn't this show. It was a combo of this show and another show. That is in two different, really, it's in a different kind of hospitality. It's not, one's hospitality, one's, we'll say, real estate. But I don't know. I always had a vision of like, you'd be great on TV and you'd be your own lane. And this was half of the puzzle. And it was wild that they reached out.
We can say what the real estate show was. What was the real estate show again?
Just like Property Brothers, just kind of like,
Brothers.
yeah, you got
a listing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got
not $1 million listing.
You got a good haircut.
On $1 million listing.
Good haircut, cute face,
it's a
good smile.
out there.
Yeah,
And,
I could totally be a more manly version of Ryan Serhant.
I don't see why not.
Dude, that guy
John?
is a savage. That guy, I want to know this is like, remember the instance I told you yesterday from the show where he played a specific video during one of his.
Yeah, explain it to the audience.
So, I watched $1 Million Listing New York, and one of the characters, Frederick, love Frederick, although I don't think he's a very good guy. He used to do pornography. And that's where I'll leave that. And he was him and Ryan were competing for one of these homes, these $1 million listings. And at the open house, Ryan decided to play one of his pornos on the screen. I don't think Patrick has that in his blood. However, that can't be real.
Yes, that's the conversation, because no, it would be very difficult for me to just go and be an absolute.
Yeah, in one of the shows, Frederick was showing a house with a pool in the basement. And in the middle of the open house, like Frederick was taking them down to the pool to show them, and Ryan just runs down, cannonballs in his suit into this into the pool of this like $70 million brownstone in Manhattan. I don't think Frederick has that in his blood.
Yeah, but like he said, is it scripted? What do we have?
And
No,
are they buying me a new suit?
Are they buying me? How much money am I making for this? Like, there are ways. First off, there's a price tag for everybody. There is a way to get anybody to pretty much do anything. And when you're talking about these shows and how scripted they are, I mean, we were talking about. Actually, I can't say that's the show I was positioned to be for, so I can't mention that story. But we were talking about in general how a lot of these shows you end up doing some research on the back end of, did this really happen? Did this really happen? A perfect example of that is, do you remember? Of course you remember the Maroon 5 video with the weddings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the best I had. I watched that video so many times. I think it was actually the first YouTube video to 1 billion views, was it not?
Of all the videos?
I thought so. Or maybe it just made news because it hit 1 billion. I don't remember. However, it was me and Sean watched it. I love that song, love the video, and we end up watching researching it because it was so popular. And I think there was like 2 of them were actual weddings. And then the rest were, and they said the ways you find out is like look at the camera work. If there's a camera like getting pulled away, like looking like on a track above everybody, probably not for the wedding.
True.
So but you see those things like, all right, what is real, what is fake? What
I always think about that
happening?
in the show Catfish, which is just the best television show. It is full of just absolutely wonderful drama, and like that at the end of every episode, they're doing the confrontation. And like there's a full camera crew, and they're like acting as if they're surprised. And there's like cameras in the house when they're like, when this confrontation is happening. And I'm like, they obviously know in advance that this is happening. And that to me is when you start realizing there's a camera crew there, that's where I'm like, I'm not so sure about this.
Yeah. So also begs the question, and when you're talking about reality TV, so you talk about Catfish, right? So it's like one like quick hour set of, oh my God, they could have been surprised prior to it and say, hey, listen, you got to sign these waivers. It's actually a Catfish show, try to act surprised type of thing. But the reality TV shows, like, years ago, they were trying to get me to go on, like, I think Love Island or something, or whatever it was. Like the ones where there's cameras there constantly, it's a show, you almost get immune to it. Are those actually more of a reality TV show than the ones that are supposedly going around in real life?
Yeah, because those people are crazy. Like, to sign up for the reality love TV show, anything, doesn't matter what the topic, you have to be mildly insane.
You have.
Well, I'll say this: when I was living in LA, I knew a bunch of young ladies who were trying to get on these reality dating shows they had boyfriends. And it was just one of the ways that people in that industry were making it. That was just a thing. And I remember a couple of friends I had, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they were arguing. Like I forget which one she wanted to go on. But she was like, I can't believe you want me to go on this. He's like, what do you mean I don't want you to go on this? But they were trying to make it as an actress, and that was an opportunity.
I don't know how serious of an actress they'll ever be considered, but I actually wanted to talk about this a little bit later as well. Sean, you've spoken about it, and it's actually a good transition to the next thing. With this tweet I had that I kind of flagged that I want to bring on that you tweeted about, Sean. But it was like, or just almost like, in today's day, just get almost famous for anything, and then try to be serious later. Like you see a lot of the old stuff with Dave Portnoy, where he was running a 40-yard dash. He looked like an absolute moron. Like he's standing in the middle of Times Square, looking like an idiot, announcing their move to New York. Like it's almost just get famous for anything, and then later turn into a serious person or whatever it is that you want to be. Because now you have the audience, and now you just you have the attention almost. So just keep going in a different way. And you see these people on these shows, and there's one guy I always see. He was on a bunch of shows. He's supposedly considered a very attractive man. He is a handsome man. I will give him that. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but like people fucking love this guy. And I think he was on. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch The Bachelorette or any of those shows. So I wouldn't really know it. Tyler something? No, not ringing any bells. It's probably good for the show. Probably good for the show. Someone's gonna know this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it was Tyler so and so."
Tyler Norris.
No,
I mean,
he was
it's not if you say the last name. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would know it.
Oh, Tyler Cameron. Tyler Cameron.
Cameron.
He was always
There
around
it is.
Barstool with like chicks in the office and stuff. He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, I saw him on that show. So yeah, he's always known as like this guy, but I don't know what he actually got famous for. I assume it was like a Bachelorette type show or a Bachelor show. And but
Andrew
now,
Tate was on Big Brother.
was he really?
He actually.
That's
yes.
That was,
Oh yeah, he
Yes.
got kicked out. He got
Yeah.
kicked out, right?
How convenient.
So Tyler
How convenient.
Tyler Cameron was the runner-up, which some might debate is actually the best place to end up at The Bachelor because you're single,
One-
but you
Doesn't
made
that
it all
make
the
you
way.
the next Bachelor?
I don't know. You watch the
don't
show?
Yeah, I'm not
Sean
so
does
sure
watch
either.
the show. Sean does watch the show.
Well, my girlfriend.
Blame it on the girlfriend. Blame it on the girlfriend. Just like back in 7th grade when I had to tell, when the bus pulled up in front of my house to pick me up for school, and I had to tell everyone my sister was watching the Hillary Duff music video, not me.
Yeah, that video was electric.
I think I agree with your point. Like, it's a great launching pad for clout, really. But I think you have to go into it knowing what you want out of it. Like, if you want to be an actress, that you're never going to be an actress if you're on reality TV. Like, there's
No.
But if you want to be,
You really have to train. You have to pivot
I
hard.
totally disagree. I don't know that for. I can't think of an example, but I will guarantee you
exactly.
that. I'll guarantee you, if we looked it up, we can find people who are actresses from reality TV.
Yeah, they
there's
work for Reality Kings.
I don't know what that is.
That's a porn reference.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know what that is. My brand of ethical business is glad that I don't know what that is. But like, I didn't realize that Harry Styles wasn't on like the British
Voice or
version of The Voice, or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's
Yeah,
not the
he was quite
reality
charming,
TV genre that we're talking about. That's talent.
I know, I understand, but I think a lot of people are being launched from Survivor. I maybe not the Love Is Blind, but I know there was a Bachelor or something here in Hoboken recently, and Stephanie was all in a tither about it.
I mean, I agree with you to an extent, Sean, that you can use it as a launching pad. It just depends on what. Because nowadays people get hired because they already have an audience that they can bring with them to whatever they're getting hired to go do. So it's dependent. It depends on. I think it's very dependent.
Well, let me
on,
ask you this.
Okay, ask me this, Sean.
How does Lil Huddy get a music contract?
Yeah, but I don't think people consider him a serious artist.
That's okay. How does he get a recording deal?
But that's where I think that's TiVo's point, is that we're not talking about just going and acting.
No,
we're
I
talking
understand
about
that.
being a serious, like, no one's really launching themselves from The Bachelor to being Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's one of one.
Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
2 of 2. I can name more, Sean, if you want me to.
And Holly, to Sean's point, Hollywood's different than it was 20 years ago. So the movie
Yeah,
star,
like,
the
what I'm
movie
saying
star's
is that
dying.
Lil Huddy, what they're
trying to-
looking for is they're looking for the person with the following. Like
Yes.
like Lil Huddy can do the recording, and all of a sudden, like, people are listening to Lil Huddy's debut album. If somebody wants to, jump in, if they have the following, and they like people, like, you can look at like Ocean's 11. Why is the cast full of a zillion celebrities? It's because they are the people that are going to draw to the theater. And if somebody has the following from one of those shows, I can't name you one that's done that, but I think I don't know that I think this is a bad argument on my end.
No, I think we're all talking about different lanes. Like, I was specifically talking about The Bachelor. Like, if you're a bachelorette and you want to be an actress, I don't think it's.
I just think it's a decent launching pad, but then from there you're gonna have to work again to become, like, for example, what we're talking about with me becoming from baseball Pat to business Pat. Baseball Pat. People. All right, the guy was good enough to get to the big leagues. He can talk about baseball. But then jump into business, like, all right, what the fuck have you done in business? Which is actually, once again, a phenomenal transition into this tweet that I wanted to talk about, and I'll read it aloud to the group. Sean tweeted, which, again, coincidentally, I didn't realize when I picked it was one of your better performing tweets over the past week. But it was a tweet that said, "I really want to teach people business, but I haven't proven my skill set yet. I've heard Alex Hermosi, who we talk about on the pod very much, say that everyone wants to be. Who is that, Sean?
Tom Bilyeu.
I might have spelled that name wrong, but whatever.
I don't know. But they forget to build Quest Nutrition first. While I think I can currently help a lot of people build their business, it's not marketable yet. As a former NBA strength coach, I do have a marketable skill: fitness. Building a successful and respected brand off the back of that skill will open the door to my dream of teaching the world business and success principles one step at a time. And we talk about that a lot when it comes to, when me and you are just kind of spitballing at home, Sean, about social media strategy, whether we talk about Tony Robbins and how he started off, trying to ward off snakes from people or something like that. And then like kind of building, I reference Charli D'Amelio all the time. She was just this dancer. Now she's hosting, the VMAs or some shit. So you have these people, and it's seemingly now, and I can't speak for back in the day because I wasn't paying attention, but it's seemingly now you just kind of get famous off this one thing that you were good at, build the audience, and then transition that audience into something that you want. Because, and I think me and TiVo had a good conversation last night where, I was talking about how I'm known for baseball, and he kind of positioned it in a way as like, no, you're not known for baseball. You're known for your personality. Your content wouldn't be funny without the personality behind it. Like, no one would care that you struck out. Plenty of people struck out Mike Trout, but no one would care if you didn't have the personality to kind of push over. Like, hey, listen, this is the only thing I did good, and I'm going to tell everyone about it all the time. So it's a different thought process. Is build that, and then people will stick around because they weren't actually there for the dancing or whatever it was that Tyler Cameron. People weren't actually there because Tyler Cameron was on The Bachelor. People were there because a lot of the girls fucking thought this guy was a very handsome man, and they stuck around after, regardless of what he was doing, because he was so handsome. So it's trying to build that. And Sean recently had a transition in his business, which is what I want to talk about now. Is finding that thing that is marketable, why people are going to stick around for you, and then go to the thing that maybe you want to do. And I think I can't remember, Sean. I watched so much damn TikTok. But there was someone had talked about not like building off of something that's not your dream, and then later go do your dream. Like, find if you're really talented at something and you don't really enjoy doing it, still build there and then go do your dream later.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on that. I think that can go in. Plenty of people make a lot of money doing things they don't like. What's in my mind right now, I'm very, very deep in the how-to business world, like uncovering the blueprints and the steps to how that gets done. What I find really interesting is that everybody says the same stuff. I think like a guy like Tony Robbins says it in more of an elegant way, more of a way that can like pierce your awareness, your consciousness, like really get you to be like, oh shit, like that was good. I think he's good at that. But I think for the most part, everybody says the same thing. There's like an underlying strategy that goes on in the online entrepreneur. Those guys who like stand in front of the Lambos and talk about how much cash they're making. Like there's this rhetoric that you like go online, you go into like Facebook groups, you go to your Facebook and you start typing in like a little lesson. And it's like how I scaled from 0 to 100K in 6 months, right? And then they go through their little marketing spiel. And look, it's not bad. Like most of them have some level of understanding. Most of them have, most of them are putting out relatively decent content, but 99.9999999999999% of them go unheard, go unnoticed, go unrecognized, despite saying the same thing to Tony Robbins, that Grant Cardone, that Gary Vee. All these guys are saying the exact same thing. And it's like, what's the thing about the Gary Vee that did it? Like Gary Vee built Wine Library TV, or he built Wine Library, and then it blossomed into this whole thing. He like built it step by step. Tony Robbins was warding off snakes to begin with. He was on infomercials. Like all of the people who are a little bit older than we are, they remember Tony Robbins from his infomercials. Same thing with Dean Graziosi. They remember him from his infomercials.
Oh yeah.
And it's like and I think even Warren Buffett is kind of similar. Tony Robbins, they said that he focused on building one thing and doing one thing
until he was like 45, and then he started expanding into other avenues. And for me personally, like in this world, like I look at all these guys who are running these businesses, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're being an idiot, right? But when I say it, even if it's the same thing that Tony Robbins says, which a lot of times it is that echo, it's like, well, hold on, personal trainer boy. Like what the hell do you know about this? Like, there needs to be some level of proof that's in the pudding. And as you've seen over the last week, when I've opened up, like I had my channels closed for a while because I was doing this stuff. I've had my fitness channels closed for a while. I opened it up. I can't stop getting clients. I can't I literally, it's happening all the time right now. And to me, I'm like, okay, like there it is. Like that's the low hanging fruit. That's the thing. That's what I am, right? That's my platform, right? And then what I can do is I can use that and build it up and then say like, I'm not closing the door on coaching the business stuff and helping people and I want to have these like business seminars and stuff. I'm not closing the door on that, but I can't, it's not for right now. I'm just pausing it. I'm delaying it until down the road when I can stand on a platform easily and say, I coached the Los Angeles Lakers. Who's going to deny that? But they're going to deny. I remember when I first started coaching business, I was like, I wouldn't even take my own advice. I'd go listen to Tony Robbins,
Of course.
And that's a problem. So that's kind of where all that stuff came from.
Even Tony Robbins, it's like, even at this level, like I think Tony Robbins has done a good job, but like, I don't really know what he knows about business.
Like, you kind of have to like dive in a little bit on it and be like, wait, is this guy who he says he is?
Yeah. And he built such a big thing. Like, is it him running the business or is he got a bunch of people below him actually running the business? Like they're like, when I get asked, as far as like restaurants are concerned, I'm not doing the day-to-day, like ordering and firing and hiring people, like all of that stuff. That's someone else. But like probably from a public persona outside of the people that work for us, a lot of people probably think it is me doing that. But like, you get asked to do things or can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, I mean, I can, but I don't do it. And so it's the same thing as like when you talk about like a Tony Robbins, it's like, all right, well, Tony, you are a professional speaker. He's helped people make themselves better, so on and so forth. But am I going to sit there and listen to you over Mark Cuban? Or
I'd like
Kevin
to know
O'Leary?
when he started his. Well, those guys are like, that's their platform, right? They are business people. And Tony Robbins, no question. Like TiVo, how much do you know about Tony Robbins?
My buddy Leif did a Tony Robbins seminar a couple weeks ago. I sat in on a day one, so I know a little bit.
Okay, so what is your honest, when you hear Tony Robbins, what do you think?
Inspiration. It was good stuff for it to be inspired, but he wasn't giving you business plans. It was like, I don't care what business you want to do. You want to do fitness, you want to do restaurants, you want to do content, doesn't matter. You got to clear yourself out and focus on who you are as a person, because if you're not in the right headspace to go tackle this thing head on, then you're not going to succeed anyway.
Sure.
So that's kind of what he was pitching.
He has the reputation of motivational speaker, of kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. People think about that when they think of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a Family Guy. It's kind of like that. And like that is what he is known for. So like when you think Tony Robbins, you don't think business, you think of, gratitude and spirituality and, motivation and big pump up speeches and stuff like that. When you think of Kevin O'Leary, when you think of Shark Tank, when you think of Mark Cuban, you think of
numbers,
power suit, numbers. Yeah. Like all that's like, what are your sales? And like just hardcore cutthroat business people. But Tony Robbins doesn't necessarily have that. I don't really know why I started saying that, but I know you're talking about Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying like Tony Robbins, he got famous for one thing, and he's transitioned since. And some people still listen to stuff he does. I think he knows what he's talking about in business, but like he's not my first person I go to when it comes to figuring out what business. So it's like, who am I actually listening to? So what my point is, even at the level of Tony, where he's internationally famous, he still even has trouble with people like me who even still know who he is. He's still down the list of people I'm listening to when it comes to business. He's still not that guy, and how big he is. So it proves the point even more of, what are you good at? Why are people coming to listen to you? Like, what is it that you do? And I think that's why Gary Vee oftentimes tells people to go and pursue their dream, because it's probably the only thing that you'll have the the bandwidth to keep going through that beginning stages of not getting any views,
That's a
not
grind,
doing it.
man.
Like, you're just not. It is a grind, and it's embarrassing sometimes. Like, one of the things I love about YouTube Shorts is when I put something up that no one likes, they just show it to 0 people.
We used
Like-
to say that about TikTok. Good thing
Yeah.
about TikTok is we can do whatever we want, and our friends aren't going to see it.
I've gotten past that point now. It seems as though that people are seeing that on TikTok. It also seems as though YouTube's coming along, but it's still even at a level of having that following. When I was starting at TikTok, I remember thinking that once I get to 10,000 followers, I'll be able to post whatever I want and not feel embarrassed. Incorrect. I just don't feel as embarrassed. But even so, it's like you get to 50. Like I'm at, I think 58,000 right now, and it's like, back in the day when you'd have like a solid following on Instagram and you'd post something and it only got like 400 likes, 500 likes, people were like, bought his followers, 100% bought them.
Yeah, so true.
And you're like, well, no, it's just not great content. People
I'm
don't seem
trying
to like
so
it.
hard.
Hand to God, I have never purchased, although tempted, I have never purchased a single follower for any of my
Well, that
platforms.
brings us to a little bit to that documentary on HBO, Fake Famous.
It certainly does.
It's
Back
a whole
in the day, the
business.
fake. Say again?
It's a whole business. Like you can prop
I
yourself
know.
up on fake followers, make the video, rent a Lamborghini for the day for $1,000, make the video. You want to make $100,000 a month like me and drive a Lambo, buy the course. And you're like, oh, he's got 25,000, he's got a Lambo, I'll buy the course.
And what is that actually doing? So you're talking about the followers, you're talking about buying followers. That girl is probably still famous, mainly because she's attractive. People just had to
Also,
find
the
her.
show on HBO. That's legit.
100%. But you have all these things, and what is it doing at the end of the day? What is it doing? It goes right back to your tweet. It's about being credible, about being marketable.
Yeah.
Why am I listening to you? Oh, because the guy's wearing, he's not wearing a Lamborghini.
Freaking Transformer over here.
That I would tune in for. But he's got a Lambo. He must have done. Now, people like us who are intelligent people were exactly what TiVo said. You rent the Lambo for the day. We all know that. Like when you go to the Fontainebleau, you go into these major hotels down in South Beach, you all know that those not many people are driving. Those are all rentals. You rent them for the day to make it look like very rich and famous people stay here. That's the vibe they're going for. That's what they go for. It's the same thing when you're talking about building a business or building whatever it is that you might want to do. Sean is very credible in the fitness space. He started off, I remember interning with the Yankees, then to the Diamondbacks for a number of years, then to the Lakers. And then, that right there is enough. Just the Lakers 1 year was enough to build a credible source because someone else, Jeannie Buss, who definitely did that hiring, Jeannie Buss.
She refused to speak to me.
Whoever, the Lakers put their stamp of approval on Sean. And now, okay, well, if the Lakers think he's good, he must be fucking good.
Yeah.
And similar to what, I had as far as baseball was concerned, the Red Sox said I'm good, so I must be good. And now I show how bad I actually am in the game of baseball. And then I market that post my baseball career of just how bad that was and play into it and all that stuff. And it goes over well. I remember when the guy from the Section 10 podcast left, and you remember this, Sean, because that's who I replaced. The guy, Steve, really good guy. I had no issues with him. He seemingly doesn't have any with me. I don't really know what's going on there, but a lot of people took they took exception with how he kind of handled it post Section 10. He left because he wanted to. Like, it wasn't he got kicked off the show. He left because he wanted to, and then people would make fun of him and be like this and that. Like, we couldn't call the show a certain thing because of something else. And people were like, well, this is too serious. Whereas I leave the show because I want to. We talk about business, Pat, and like people are tweeting at me, hey, Pat, this isn't business content. I don't know what this is. Why are you talking about baseball? And you just play into it. People like that stuff. That's kind of how you do things. But again, it's all about being credible with what you have and why you are credible. And then you build that type of following about what you want to do afterwards, which brings me back full circle here. Is what is credible about people on The Bachelor, and how can they go into acting afterwards? Is it just getting an audience from The Bachelor? And
Look,
then
I'll tell you this.
There is just something about seeing somebody on a screen and then seeing them in real life. I can't tell. I used to run these therapy seminars in the city, completely free. People could come, and I would teach them like the science that I knew. Very active on social media.
And I get these people to show up. And when they would come in and they would see me for the first time, I'm not famous. I don't pretend to be. Like, I'm not saying that that's what I am. But you can see it in their eyes that they're looking at me like, there he is. That's the guy. That's the guy who's, that's the guy I've seen on the screen on my Instagram or whatever. They'd never seen me before. And it's like, I've seen it because I've seen it in the eyes of people when I traveled around with the Lakers, and I see the way they look at those guys. When I worked with the Diamondbacks, like when I see the kids and they look at these guys, like it's the same look. So I think there's just something about being on a screen. Like, what's interesting is a lot of these people on The Bachelor, when they're done, they get a lot of followers, but they don't really get a lot of followers. They end up with like 12,000 or something like that. It's nothing like, it's not like like it blows you out of the water. This person is incredibly famous now. So I think it's like just the perception of seeing somebody on a screen. It like brings that to light.
I think you're right, but I also think The Bachelor is the platform, and then you got to do something. We were talking about this show that recently got my call, got the call. If I, for some reason, got the job, did the show, and I was kind of just like this run-of-the-mill guy who went through the motions, I don't think much would happen. But like
you get like the standard, 5,000 followers,
yes.
Whatever.
But you have this thing that people somehow relate to, or that's how they know you. That's,
you have
this
personality.
Is what he does. Exactly. And now people relate to you, or they like you, and now they want to see what else you're doing. Like, for a perfect example of this is not a perfect example of this, but Big Brother back in the day. I remember me and my mother watched it. Sean wasn't so into it, but do you remember there was a gay guy? He's black.
Marcelo.
I recently looked him up, and he's got like 11,000 followers or something like that. And
it's an absolute. It's just he has no real followers.
Yeah, who really knows? Like, he was doing something. I don't remember what he was like at some fashion show, but like you just don't think about it. But in the moment, you're huge, but you have to retain people for something else. Why are people sticking around with you? Is it the personality? Is it this? Is it that? And you got to keep going. Otherwise, people just don't care. And like you said, like the Tyler Cameron, I never watched this episode, so it's a bad example for me to say that I don't know anyone else on the show at that point. But I bet you people that are kind of run-of-the-mill Bachelorette fans, or they probably know of Tyler Cameron, but who knows who won the damn show? Yeah. Who knows anybody else on the show? But Tyler, for some reason, is able to kind of parlay that show into a much bigger audience, partially because of his very, very handsome looks.
I also think that, and I'm 100% positive of this, that the story behind things really matters. I was watching Squawk Box like 2 weeks ago, and they had I think his name is Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, and they just released on Netflix this docuseries called Full Swing. It's pretty solid. And it's kind of behind the scenes, like Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, and just like who were the other guys?
Scotty Scheffler.
I haven't finished it. Is he on there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did actually see him. Yeah. And then they had that one guy who was like ranked 174th in the world.
Yeah.
And Monahan was saying that the viewership since releasing the doc was way up. And at the actual event, like that guy who was 174th had a huge following. And it's, when you see the person, it's like, I don't care about you until you give me the reason as to why I should care about you. I don't remember what team it was, but Patrick, you and I were watching one of the college basketball games, and there was like some team, there was like a behind the scenes story or something, or I told you a story about like why I'm watching this game. And you're like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll watch it now. And it's like the story behind it is the thing that gets people. So Gary Vee always tells his origin story. Russell Brunson always tells his origin story. Tony Robbins tells his origin story. It's like everybody has that backstory of who they are. And those are the things that make people care. When I'm putting together you want to talk business, right? People out there want to assemble a business. Like your service is one thing. A lot of people have it. I'm putting together for my therapy service. I'm putting together the story of how I had to, as a strength and conditioning coach in the NBA, my job was really to make injuries go away exceptionally fast, because there was a game happening in 10 minutes and I didn't have 6 weeks to do a rehab protocol. I had to make it go away now, and I had to figure out how to make that happen. So when you work with me, I'll put you through these protocols that make it go away now. And I tell a story about how Brandon Ingram came to he had came to me with shoulder pain 10 minutes before he was about to go against LeBron James at the Staples Center in LA, and I had to make it go away now. And like that's the thing that I know will separate me when people are scrolling through to see who they're going to sign up with.
Well, here's a question. I'm going to put TiVo on the spot here a little bit. TiVo, you worked for a number of years at Barstool. You saw plenty of people, I'm sure, go from zero, little intern people to having good audiences. Did anything come off the top of your head of the reasons why you believe people might have hit, and maybe a common denominator amongst them all, that people that hit and people that don't hit so well?
Yeah, I think you got to, number one's unique, and number two is like personality uniqueness, and it's totally buying into that, right? Like you can know how to turn it on and turn it off, and that's fine, but if you better turn it on and you better keep it on, because if you're somebody that is like 75% in, and your baseball pat, your business pat, but then this Miami pat, not for me. It's like you got to be all in or you're all out in the content game.
Sounds like somebody's trying to get that video to get posted.
He's already laying the groundwork.
But wait,
already.
So let me build a point on business too, because I think it relates to what you guys are both talking about. Is we all have been in the entertainment industry in some sense, so we know good entertainment. We know when we see it, and we know what we like, and that's what keeps you coming back. Entertainment value. It could be funny, it could be sexy, whatever it is. It's entertaining to the eyes. But for business, kind of what Sean was saying is building authority in a space is one thing. Like, I have this authority, you should do business with me. And it's like, okay, like that's your story maybe, but do you want me to keep coming back? So now you're in the content game with business. Now, if you want to go do business, shut the laptop off, shut the phone off, let's go do business. But if you want to do content, why am I coming to you for business content? Because, like, to be honest, business, let's call it what it is. It's not super entertaining unless you really like the numbers, like a Shark Tank. But I think for authority figures in social media content, you need to actually bring value, which is education. So you got to figure out how you can divide your authority and be, hey, this is some entertainment. Let me teach you something for free so you can then trust my authority in my space. And then if you want to level up, then you have your next thing behind the paywall.
I think the perfect example of that is, TiVo, you bring up a great point. Business isn't that exciting. I'm a numbers person. I really love, one of the reasons I like watching Shark Tank is because I enjoy watching, how much are they making, this type of stuff. Like, what would I do in this situation? But there's a reason why the billionaire, the only billionaire on the show, sits off to the right, and Kevin O'Leary is dead center and seems to be the focus of almost every deal because of his outlandish way about him, how he says, he's Mr. Royalty, right? Like all of these different things that he wants, because that's entertaining. Watching, like, let's see this guy get absolutely fucking roasted by Kevin O'Leary right now. And then every now and again, you see Mark Cuban roast somebody, or, Barbara Corcoran, or, what have you. But, who's the guy on the other? Is it Rob?
Yeah.
Rob Herjavec. I love
yeah.
that guy.
Like he's nice guy, knows his shit, but not super entertaining. Kevin O'Leary is fucking entertaining.
Robert, you bring nothing to the table.
Well, and
he gets mad like every now and again.
And,
nice guy.
And he cries whenever it's an immigrant story because his father used to sweep floors.
Yes.
Which is great. It's a great story. But just to build, and that's a lifetime deal. Shark Tank is a lifetime deal for everybody that walks in this room, and it's 15 minutes.
Yep.
Quick. Now, when you buy restaurants, when you do big business deals, maybe it closes fast, but you do your research, you do your, exploration phase, you do negotiations. Like, lifetime deals don't happen in 15 minutes.
No, they don't. And also, to be fair, supposedly on the back end of that show, there is a ton more that goes into it. And then I actually saw Mark Cuban recently talk about how, like you say, that 20 deals that they make on the show, maybe 5 go through. Mm-hmm. And they recently had a guy where they loved the business, loved everything that was going about it, but the husband of the entrepreneur didn't believe in income tax. So he was just not paying taxes forever. And Mark was like, well, they're eventually going to find a way to come after the billionaire for that. So no, thank you. And so you see a lot of that stuff back end. But you're right. Like, I haven't had I think the quickest deal I ever had it started in February, ended in August. So that was lightning speed in comparison to some of the other deals I've done, or even just the deals that have fallen apart. You could spend 8 months on a deal and it just never come through. So you're right. Like, these things are, you said, entertainment value. It's these people come in, they make a quick pitch. They usually do some corny, show.
What's up, Sharks? My name is Sean White.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, that's, no one who's came in to pitch me a restaurant idea has done that. Like, it's ridiculous.
But I'd like it.
I would laugh. I don't know how serious I'd take them. But You're right. It's
Do you ever see the
entertainment
video
value.
of? Do you ever see the video of they it was something about a lock on a door or something like that, and they were showing how they were trying to show that their lock was better than most locks. It was like something that came up from the floor, and they were going to show how easy it is for an intruder to get in on a normal lock.
Oh man!
And this dude just could not break the door down to the point where he was 30 yards back in the studio, full sprinting at the door and like launching himself at the door. The Sharks were wetting their pants, and finally this guy like just put 110% effort into it, and he Stone Cold Steve Austin speared through the door and came barreling through on the other end, and they gave like a standing ovation for it. It was one of the all-time pitches.
That was. I don't know if you saw it, Tebow. Please look it up if you
Oh,
haven't.
it is unbelievable.
Dude, that thing is absolutely hilarious. Talking about going into our next segment, by the way, of things that have made me laugh over the last week. And a video that would be is just, if you haven't seen that, please at home, or TiVo put it in this part of the episode, at home, go watch this thing. It is so funny to watch this guy break through a traditional
he's
lock.
trying so hard. It is his like one shot to get be on Shark Tank live television. And he's trying so hard to break this door down, he can't do it.
Oh, it really is. That is a fantastic episode. But so in conclusion to this little business talk we had, it seems as though there's obviously a few ways, but it does seem as though people have like their thing that they get that platform for, whatever it might be, and then they build off it later. It's about finding that one thing that you got that you can kind of push through, because even so, like some of the stuff that I've got offered in the hospitality world came because I had a following in baseball. Like people enjoyed that. People wanted to do work with me because of it.
Gives
and
you like
never
a sticking point too, you know?
Yeah, you never feel like some things will correlate, but people really like to do business with people that have a following. It is what it is. Like, I mean, Kim Kardashian and all these people probably have no business having makeup things, but they are, and they can't stop making money. So it really is just an interesting world we live in. So there's my little 2 cents. But moving on, a new segment on the show that I have titled Made Me Laugh. What an interesting thing. I made this at 11 o'clock last night because I saw a video. I really enjoyed TikTok. I don't watch Instagram Reels all that often. It seems like my algorithm is just inspirational quotes with people walking through what seems to be an insane environment, whether it's like a huge city or walking through like, Wyoming with those crazy things, and with some crazy thing, which by the way,
is geological features.
Yeah, which by the way is one of my new Mike Trout strikeout video things. Is I'm putting my Trout strikeout video to these most really really deep quotes and conversations. I got a real kick out of it, so I'm gonna keep posting it.
Mike Trout, there's no doubt he's seen these videos, and at some point he's just got to be like, "Give it up, guy!" Like, Jesus Christ, I've struck out 5,000 damn times.
Never.
Oh, man, I wonder if I've posted it a trillion times. I wonder if you've seen it. But talk about our most listened to episode. If we ever get Mike Trout on this podcast.
I was going to say, is he our white buffalo?
He is. I think at least right now he's our white buffalo. This podcast.
Mike,
I mean, that
come
would
on the
be
pod.
people would really. We could reach out to Matt Tenney. Congratulations, Matt Tenney, as he is the strength.
Oh, Sean, could you give us an update on did people do it last week? I don't remember what the number was, but we did ask people to go and do that again for us. If there are probably people doubling down.
Okay, I like. Part of me hopes that it's not. He's like trying to take this like very seriously. All right, his most recent post. I'll check his pinned one first. Doesn't look like anybody has congratulated him here. Let me just scroll to the bottom quickly. Actually done. Okay, the most recent one that he's posted has 10 comments. Nobody has congratulated Matt Tenney here.
Oh, damn it, guys!
We made an average push. Yes, this is it.
This is the video.
Oh, man, we are really Joe Rogan podcast here now.
He goes through this whole process,
Yeah, that's right. He brings out the sledgehammer.
Which, by the way, was probably used for the new one. They probably weren't expecting to use that except for this to demo their product, but had to bring it out. This lock, I don't know if they ever showed whose lock this was, but they probably got so many fucking sales.
I love it. The guys are absolutely crying.
Oh, that's brutal.
Wait till he starts launching himself.
Oh yeah, where is that part?
It's right towards the end because that's where he finally breaks through.
Oh, this is the new door.
Hold
No,
on.
that's his product. You gotta go back.
I think he. No, I think he. Here it is. There it
Oh,
goes. He's doing flying ninja kicks.
Here it is.
All right, let's give it up for our guy. Yeah.
Oh, man. That is something else. That is something else. But anyway, moving to my video. I don't know if you can put TikTok up there, TiVo, or use sound for that matter. But you can plug it in later. But it is this video that I hope. Oh, let me send it to you, TiVo, just so you have it. Because I send it to everyone pretty much everyone that I usually send TikToks to. But it is. I found this fucking thing so funny. So Jill Biden recently, let me see, TiVo guy, where is he? There he is. Jill Biden recently, they were talking about the women's national championship, and she was giving some speech and talking about how she can't wait to have LSU there, the champions and all that stuff, and then decided to pivot a little bit and say she also wanted to have Iowa there because they played such good games. She's going to talk to Joe to bring them there too. They played such a good game, and sportsmanship. And
Did you say it was like I feel like that's the nice thing to do or some shit?
Yeah, something like that. I don't.
Bullshit.
I'll let you guys listen to it. And I just sent it to you, TiVo, so you can plug it in later. But it is one of the funnier because it's so unexpected. I'm listening to this thing.
Yeah, it was.
It is so unexpected as to what you're about to hear that I couldn't stop myself from sending it to almost everybody that I was friends with on TikTok.
So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too because they played such a good game. So, right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship.
Fuck you, Jill. You're a horrible fucking woman. This is why everybody hates you, Jill. This kind of shit, ineffective.
Obviously, Sean, fuck you, Jill, is one of the best.
I was surprised. I was surprised that happened.
Oh my god, dude! I couldn't stop. I had to send it to everybody. It's also like I don't really care. Like if you like sportsmanship is sportsmanship. I don't whatever you guys want to do. I don't really care.
No,
it means nothing to me.
That's stupid though. That's stupid.
But is it stupid? What it means nothing.
Well,
that's
means
my
nothing,
take on everything.
But it's such
It means
that
nothing.
is a real reward for winning the title is like you get to go to the White House. Like it's not for losers. Okay, I understand you're not a loser, whatever. That's not my game. And then this gal on LSU is being like, oh, we don't even need to go there. We'll just go to the Obama's house. Like you know what I mean? Like get out of here with that.
Yeah, I think. And again, this comes back to me like not taking anything really seriously. There are certain things that matter in this world, and there's certain things that don't. None of this matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
None of this
almost
matters.
nothing matters.
Almost nothing.
It's this podcast and business. That's all that
Business.
matters.
Well, I was watching, not to move on because Sean's got a video too, but that I actually going to have to watch live there, TiVo, because I have not watched it prior to the show. But Sean, there was this. I really, really like Tyson Fury. I think he is like the world heavyweight champion of the world. Like, just a cool dude. A gypsy supposedly, like all this stuff. And also, I don't know if I don't know, TiVo, are you a boxing guy at all?
Yeah, I'll tune in for the big fights.
Yeah, so like I'll watch Tyson. I know Sean isn't, but like Tyson's like this. He's like 6'7", huge dude, seemingly very out of shape. But then he'll go up against that guy Wilder, who is this massive black guy who is like shredded, like really like buff. And I'm like looking at. I remember watching that fight and being like, Tyson's gonna get killed. He's gonna get absolutely.
This guy is an X-Men.
He is Wolverine, and Tyson comes out and beats him. And it was such an interesting thing just to watch it. It's almost like you feel as though you like can relate to Tyson better.
Well, we've seen that too, Patrick, in pro sports. The guys with the sick, this is a questionable statement, but the guys with sick bodies, they are never the best players. We had a guy on the Lakers, his name was Thomas Robinson. It's like a all-world player at Kansas. His diet consisted exclusively of Girl Scout cookies, but he was like the goal, like 6'7", 240, and just popping. Like shredded beyond belief, and he was our worst player.
Yeah, it is, but we have seen that quite a bit. It seems as though being shredded in baseball doesn't help you at all, but it was interesting to kind of see that relatability. But he has a quote that I see all the time because I like it. He has a quote that talks about like you don't own anything, you only own moments in time. That's the only thing that's yours. He talks about like right now because he's the world heavyweight champion. You know, he owns, this is his moment in time that no one can take away from him. Everything else, including your body, eventually goes. Like you don't have anything. So it's like I look at some of this stuff, like
Deep.
Yeah, it is. But you look at some of this stuff, it's like what really fucking matters? Like none of this matters to anybody. And I know this is supposed to be what made me laugh segment.
What is the meaning of life?
Oh man!
But yeah, it is. It's like nothing really fucking matters. Like, all right, you invite every college women's basketball team. Invite them all.
And then he sings. He sings karaoke after he does like the full
oh
song.
my goodness! I've watched that the American Pie one.
He did the full thing.
I watched that so many times. I think it's so cool that he just sings and then like puts up the mic. He has that entire crowd because
he owned that moment.
He owned it, and I think that's so cool. But moving on to Sean's video. Sean, how long is your video? Like 10 seconds?
No, that's like 20, 30 seconds.
And it's funny?
No, it's not funny at all.
Oh, you know, when I saw Tony Robbins, hold on. Did you even look at the segment?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't put two and two together.
You didn't put.
I saw that this was the make. I didn't realize. No, I didn't put it. I didn't. Well, just shut the hell up, and we'll watch something else. watch something else next week. My video was the Shark Tank one.
There you go. Okay, so that's
to be fair. Like I was like pulling, like I got the rundown this morning, and I'm like at the gym, like okay, just going through my TikTok cache and see what I was going to pull out. I don't have a lot of humor in there. I've really tried about creating new principles in my life.
Yeah. Sean's not one for fun. So oftentimes he's probably scrolling trying to find anything that's funny and can only find people with motivational talks and fitness routines. But
yeah.
All right. Well, I assume TiVo, you don't have any videos, right? Because I sent it to you this morning.
No, you won't let me post my videos that I want to post.
Okay, so let's just transition.
Sick transition.
Here we go.
Speaking of nothing matters, this seems to matter a lot to you.
So, all right. Let's get into this. So I oftentimes bring TiVo with me to.
Can somebody send me this video? I want to look at it again.
Okay, TiVo, can you do that for me?
Let me see if we still have it in our chat.
You're really far from the mic. Not a single person.
I got to
can
see
hear
if
you
we
right
still have it in our chat because I don't have that hard drive with me right here.
But so I oftentimes take TiVo with me on these trips. We went to Miami, now over a month ago, which is interesting because it doesn't feel that long ago. But we took him to Miami, and TiVo is a very creative guy and can do a lot. So I kind of just give him creative control. And then obviously I have suggestions what I'm going for and so on. But, if you guys remember the people that watched the Philadelphia one, that was a TiVo production. It was, a bunch of stuff. That one was actually a little bit more serious. And then I thought it was really funny I don't know if you were going for this or not, TiVo, but I thought it was hilarious that we went from, I got like 7 meetings today, and then immediately transitions into us just ripping shots with groups of people. And I thought that was hilarious. Again, more like what I do, how I go about my life, just making fun of myself and just kind of not taking anything seriously. Cut to Miami. And I had gotten the vibe that I was coming off very douchey. You're right, nothing matters. Now that we went through that, this makes me feel worse. But I got the vibe that I came off very douchey. Now, it was kind of the vibe that TiVo was going for. He was going for this thing.
That's your natural vibe.
There's a background to it. Are you playing it? There's a background to it.
Hey, it's just gonna drive traffic to our YouTube.
Seriously.
You can keep talking, Pat. We'll just get.
But
so
yeah,
there's
there's a.
This comes off douchey.
But yeah, there's a background to it, and
Eating
there's a
steak out of a briefcase.
right at the end. Are we getting to the end here? I don't remember how long the video is, but right at the end, specifically, I don't know if it's just me that knows this because I know the signs for myself, but I look hammered.
Yeah,
I'm
you
at
did.
Carbone down in South Beach, and I look destroyed because I am destroyed. I have been drinking all day. It was like a Saturday. We were having a good time at the pool all day, and then went to Carbone later. And I'm very drunk. Like I just got up from the table. There you go. I just got up from the table at Carbone and left. I went to the host stand, paid for our bill because I felt bad. Look at this guy. I paid for my bill. Paid for the
You're
bill.
the one sitting that way.
I'm hammered, Sean.
Wow, you're a.
What do you want from me? Look at I look into the camera. Look like
I don't sit that way when I'm hammered.
You're hammered like once every 7 years.
Well, I know very specifically that I do not sit that way when I'm hammered.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
just
you have
announce
like-
to everybody that I'm hammered, and I tell
Yeah,
everybody
now-
when I'm drinking.
Yes, he announces everyone he's hammered. He does the he puts his tongue out. I remember one time I had to tell Sean, please put your tongue back in your mouth. You gotta stop doing that. So we all have our things. Like let's not just pretend.
Oh, so your
like,
thing
I'm-
as a hammered person is a douchebag?
let's not pretend. Well, listen, you're no better. You're still a douche, just a different type of douche.
I'm not a douche. I'm just very obnoxious and truthful.
Exactly. We all have our things when we're drunk. It's not like I'm the only one that acts different when I'm hammered.
I love how I
And
can hear you from your room.
And I'm not acting like a douche there. I'm slouchy because I can barely see. And I'm at a really fancy restaurant trying to maintain myself. I don't sit like that. Who at what point did I? Yeah, exactly. Look at this fucking guy.
Bring me my
No one's-
steak inside of a suitcase. It must be a gilded suitcase, or I shall not indulge. Bring it to me now. Wait, staff. I shall not wait for the check. I will pay on my departure at the hostess stand with my Black American Express card. Yes, that's right, ladies. You heard that correct.
He always
Centurion.
he always drops it on the table so you can hear how it's like the metal one.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel better now, Sean?
I feel excellent.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy that got that out of your system. So this video, like I said, is something that I was like, Tiva, I don't think I can post this. I feel like I look like a raging douchebag. And although I felt like here's the thing. This is what I said to you, TiVo. I felt as though I looked like a raging douchebag, but like seriously like a douche. Not like a douche in the sense that, oh, Pat's making fun of himself again being an asshole. Like, okay.
Like an
that's fine.
actual douche.
Like I'm an actual piece of shit. And I didn't want to do that. And then you combo that at the end with me looking hammered.
Well, you got to put like circus music behind it or something.
Well,
Put
he
like the
did
put
put
like
good-
the Wiggles.
No, so the
He
car
put good music behind
the
it.
Carbone, it's Botticelli. It's like Porti Volare. It's like
Yes.
it's hilarious.
It is so the music behind it does make it.
And then
better.
the Poppy
It is
Steak
interesting
one.
though.
The Poppy Steak one is LMFAO. I'm in Miami, bitch. So it's like
I think I posted the Poppy Steak one though, didn't I?
no.
I
know,
posted something from
You posted like you did the raw video like on your story. You never, or maybe you posted some raw video on like a reel, but you didn't post the edited videos.
Interesting. Well, I don't remember that one, but
You
yeah.
always got to think about like how people go through TikTok. You know, they're just like, like they're not like sometimes they stop and watch, and it's like when we post our own, like it's almost like we feel like when they see our name pop up, they like close the blinds, get some popcorn ready, dim the lights, and they're like, everybody gather around. Pat is posting. So Pat is posting a TikTok. Everybody get your socials ready so we can tell everybody what we thought and make sure we spread the news of our authentic reactions to what we saw here. And they're just
Yeah,
like, that was weird.
I know you feel like people are like gathered around being like, what a douchebag that guy is.
Wait till I tell everyone I know.
Yeah, so I know TiVo, go through your process a little bit of what you did, because everyone's heard my point of view now.
Right.
Let's hear the producer point of view, exactly what your process was going through and making the video.
Well, so I loved the Philly video and it did really well. And going through, like, if you take it for face value, like the Philadelphia Business Pad video was super ridiculous because it's super cool because helicopter rides and is cool to watch, but it's like it's also ridiculous. Like, we're taking a helicopter to Philly when we could have rented a car for $100 and drove down. And it's like, oh, they went from New York to Philly in a chopper? Like, why? And it's like, what were they doing? Like, this is how I think. I break things down.
They were going to meetings.
Yeah, and then we're playing Kygo and getting picked up at SUV. It's like, the whole thing was ridiculous. The whole thing was
Somebody
ridiculous.
definitely watched that and was like, what is this?
And dude, we took a helicopter to go upstairs and be at it wasn't a dive bar, but it's not like we're going away from high class in a high class vehicle to shitty Philly to go to a bar. Do you remember who was in that DJ booth? Like, what was going on there? And so I'm like, I edit this thing, and this is how I think of content. You brought me on, and you come from an entertainment background. Like, you do things to try to get reactions of entertainment and a little bit laughter. So I'm like, all right, he's in that zone. So when I edit things, I put stuff together, and if it makes me laugh while I'm doing it, like, that's just my gut. I trust it. Now, is everybody going to think that? Absolutely not. I get that. But there's a test, and when I'm building something and I'm watching it and I'm chuckling, I'm like, dude, this is funny. And so then we go to Miami, and that whole thing started ridiculously. You're like, I was like, I'm traveling a bunch. I tried to not go, and you're like, nah, you're coming. Like, here we go. I'm putting you up at the one. And I'm like, all right, that's ridiculous. What do you want to make? Like, what do you want to do? And you're like, I don't have any ideas. Just come. Let's just hang out and do stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, dude, I'm going to order the $1,000 steak in the suitcase. And I'm like, all right, well, we got to make something with that. So we get all this footage. And I'm somebody that, like, I'm used to having a shot list and a plan to, like, make a video. We had nothing. And so I'm just, they wouldn't even let me bring my camera in, right? Like, we knew that. I was like, I'm not going to be able to bring my camera into a place like this. So I'm just on my little cell phone grabbing shots. And then I'm like, I got to try and put something together. And we put this thing together, and it's actually like a great video. So from my perspective, Miami Pat has this video of this wild Miami lifestyle that, like, you're on vacation. Like, this isn't what you're doing weekly. You're not at Swan every night, like, trying to post like you're some Miami guy living that lifestyle. It's like, we're here for the week. We're making some content. And why is this video so edited so well? Why does it look so good? Like, where did you get this? So if I'm watching this like an average person on your social feed, I'm like, oh, he's in Miami doing some cool stuff. He's like, why is this video so intriguing? Like, who made this? And what it's like, that's my thought of it is it was just so ridiculous and over the top that it nullifies any douchey vibes that it's giving off. Because who made this video? Why is it being made? What's the point of it? There's no real answers to it other than you can't look away.
Yeah, well, inevitably, and I do try to take this into consideration when I do these things and when I want to post something, when I don't want to post something. You're always way harder on yourself. You know, just what Sean just said when it comes to TikTok. People are like, no. Like, you're thinking, you know, this crazy thing of what people think of you. That is, I mean, theoretically, social media. That one, like, funny little jingle they have on TikTok. It was like, you know, all right, I've worked for 5 minutes. Let's go see who loves me online. So it's like you have these things because, like, that's social media. It's like you're literally posting things, and you're worried about what people perceive you as, because that's why, you know, everyone claims, like, people that think that, posting on social media is so stupid. It's because you don't think you're important enough to get a following. No one doesn't want a following. I would say
true.
there's probably very few people, maybe some weirdos that don't want a following. But, like, when you say, like, oh, no, that's stupid, why are you posting? So it's because you don't think you're cool enough to do it, and you're scared to give it a go because you think that people are going to make fun of you. That's the only reason you're not. You can tell yourself anything you want. Yeah, that's the only reason. You'll tell yourself that, oh, no, that's not why. It's because it's stupid. Look at this. You're posting motivational quotes. Like, who are you? Like, no. Like, you just won't do it because you're too scared to get made fun of for trying to do it. That's the entire thing.
Everybody wants to be famous.
Yeah, like, it's natural. People, like, that's, for whatever reason, that's human nature to try to, you want to have that. You want to have that following. And that's life. So you're constantly, when posting, you're constantly thinking. The amount of times I have recorded a TikTok and then sat there and been like, well, I don't know. This is risky. This is a tough one. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna hopefully mom doesn't see this one. Like, you do these things because you're still a human. No matter how many followers you have, you still are a human at the end. And you have these things of like, oh, how are people going to view me if I do this? And this video was no different. It was like, oh wow, okay, I feel like I'm coming off a certain way that I don't want to come off. But then the music makes me feel like, okay, this is ridiculous. And you're right, T. Like, why is this edited so well? Like, why? Like, is Pat just bringing around a camera crew now with him? Like, why is it this way? And then at the end, I look hammered. So
even
listen,
the
I'm
worst
not against-
reaction from somebody watching that didn't like it would be like, "What was that?"
Yeah, I think my response would be like, what was the purpose of this video? This guy went to dinner.
and while you're thinking, it's replayed from the start, and you're going to watch it again. That's 2 for 1. That's 2 for 1 customer.
2 for 1 special.
You got to post it. That's for sure. Post it with as this is being released.
So hold on. I feel as though, coming onto the show, I felt as though I spoke with TiVo last night. I felt as though, like, listen, it's tough for me to post this video. I feel as though, I want it to come off a certain way. So we were talking about doing something like, I'll release this if such and such happens,
Or I'll release it.
and
Set the goal. It's in my hands. So if the goal's reached, I'm firing it off.
It's like in The Office when Dwight Schrute has the 3 strikes and the email is sent to Robert California.
the doomsday device.
That's what it was. The doomsday
device.
Jared's pod would have a field day with these videos. They said they want you to
my
lean
goodness, I
into
know.
being Pat, being yourself, lean into it, and don't shy away. I got some ammo for that. So I think they would have a field day with it.
You certainly have some ammo. So I don't know. Is there any thoughts on what we should do? Like, let's make our own doomsday device. What needs to happen? And TiVo has complete control. What needs to happen for this to be released? The doomsday device. I love that. It's a great reference, Sean. Well, we're building new socials now.
Right.
I don't want to say let's get followers because I don't like begging for
I'll
followers.
I'll say that.
That's good.
Well, I think follows. I think shares. I think.
Yeah, but the share, like, if you want comments on a post, then it's already posted. I think we want.
So I know that's what I'm saying, though. How about we clip this doomsday device?
Okay.
We post it to social. I will do my thing too. I'll repost and stuff like that, so people we get some traction underneath it. And then if we get, let's say, you want to do shares, you want to do comments. What's more valuable, Tivo?
Yeah, what's more valuable?
Just do probably comments.
All right, so let's post it on the new TikTok. We can post this clip on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram,
And Twitter.
And if we get into especially new TikTok, new Instagram, my YouTube, because we're posting it on my YouTube, has like 810 subscribers right now. Not a huge audience there. So let's be realistic, but let's also make it somewhat hard to attain because we want to get something out of this.
What's a typical 100 comments to me on TikTok is not that much.
But for a brand new TikTok page, it could be. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And if we get 100 comments on our first TikTok, what do you think, TiVo? I'll let you set the doomsday device since you're now Dwight Schrute for this.
I'm just saying this. I got 2 videos. I'll release both of them if we can get 1,000 Instagram followers. And
1,000 Instagram. Jesus Christ!
I'm releasing both. That's both. We'll release one once we get 2. I feel like 100 people listen to the show. We have to have somebody tell a friend, and so we want 200 comments.
200 comments on TikTok. Both get released if we get 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, and then let's do Twitter too.
Well,
We're at
are we
800
setting
on
a timetable?
Twitter.
Are we setting a timetable here, or could just whenever we get 1,000 Instagram followers, doomsday device goes off?
Yeah, probably like whenever the doomsday device would go off.
So we will be releasing these.
Well, our Instagram's at 0, so I don't know.
We got 5. I saw.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's
I'm
3
calling.
on the podcast.
All right. So we get how about we release this clip? You can do the 1,000 followers, but we release this clip on all the platforms. If we get in total, I'll go all social media. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels. If we get in total 200 comments,
Yeah.
then
We'll do the
we release.
we'll do the poppy steak video at 200 comments, and we'll do the
Yeah, we could.
do the Carbone video at 1,000 Instagram followers.
Deal.
It's a
Is there a
celebration.
no time frame.
No, we'll get there eventually.
I know we will get there eventually, but we have to incentivize these people.
Well, what if we did it in the week? Like, if we have it by next week's recording, we will. If not,
How about
if
we
you
do- how
don't,
about we
if
do-
you don't do it, Patrick reposts his Mike Trout video.
Yeah, that's true.
100 more times.
Well, no, I mean, if we don't get there, we don't get there. So, I mean,
Yeah, how about we do it in 2 weeks? No, let's do it in the week. Let's push these people. So listen, if we get you
Listen up, people.
So the 200 comments across all releases the Poppy Steak one,
yep.
and then 1,000 followers, and I'll do this. I'll do you one better.
You could blame it on me. I'm starting
going
these
to blame it on
socials.
you.
I want to get creative.
do
I
it.
want to do memes. I want to do videos, but I need people to share them with. I need the people.
How about we do this? 500 plus on both on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
Let's get people out there.
Do we have a
And then
new?
let's-
Sorry, we're closed. TikTok.
Yes.
I don't know if we do. I don't know. Have you made it yet?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So we'll get on there 500 plus on each social. So TikTok and Instagram, the new ones, and then 200 comments across all three. Does Poppy Steak? 500 plus on that does the Carbone one.
And I'll link to the socials in the bio of the episode, so you can go and click.
All right. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, let's have some fun. This is more my speed anyway, because now people at least know that I feel like I look like a douche and I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's gonna get shown to 3 million people on TikTok.
Yeah,
and only
it's gonna be
150 listeners.
I guarantee you
that.
the Poppy Steak video would be like one of your most successful videos ever. So
Oh, we're about to find out because I know people are going to do this. So, all right, guys, to end the pod real quick, one of our longest pods, I think, but to end the pod real quick, I want to quickly go through all three of us. Big weekend. I know I don't really care about baseball. The Red Sox, I think they just got swept by the Pirates. The Yankees, I think, are doing okay, what have you, whatever. This week, biggest news, Tiger's back at Augusta. I want to start with TiVo. What do you got? Do you think Tiger first makes the weekend, 2 competes at all for the victory?
makes the weekend, but he's at +1, +2.
Okay, so he's not competing for an actual green jacket now.
I think +1, +2 ain't that far off in a Masters.
All right, well, Sean?
No, I got the same.
I think he's kind of like in that mid pack. He gives us a little juice for the weekend, but kind of peters out at the end.
I got Will Zalatoris on the dub.
Will Zalatoris can't make a putt, but Will Zalatoris. Let's go. I'm gonna be positive Paul here, and I'm gonna go makes the cut and gives us a run. Finishes top 10. I don't think he wins it, but finishes top 10. Has some fireworks on Sunday. Brings out the Sunday red. People are excited. Let's go Tiger wins. So I'm excited for that.
let's
I
see
got
where he's
Dustin.
at right now.
I got Dustin Johnson. He's pissed off about the whole live golf
Hard.
thing.
Hard.
DJ's coming in hard.
+1. He's
Clip
+2
that,
right
clip
now.
that phrase, T-Row.
What's that?
+2 through 5.
He's +2 through 5. Where's the leader?
-3 through 6.
Not a great start. Not a great start
Tough conditions out there, I'm sure.
for what he does. All right, guys. Great show. Great time. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. Enjoy some Tiger Woods. I actually think we have some decent weather. I know it's supposed to be 78 here in New Jersey today. So enjoy hopefully some good weather wherever you might be listening. And yeah, enjoy your weekend, guys. Talk to you soon.